Welcome back to theCUBE. We are live at NetApp Insight 2018. I'm Lisa Martin with Stu Miniman, and we're pleased to welcome, for the first time to theCUBE, Cindy Warner, SVP of Worldwide Service and Support at NetApp. Cindy, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, I'm thrilled to be here.
So this morning's keynote talked a lot about transformation of NetApp, transformation that your customers need to execute, to be competitive, to be successful. Tell us about the customer transformation that you're seeing as the leader of service and support.
Sure, our customers want outcomes, plain and simple. They are buying solutions that lead to outcomes. So in the service and support area, the conversations we're having with our customers now are all about outcomes. What can we do to ensure their outcomes? To ensure their transformation, to ensure they can provide the services to their customers that they're looking to provide, or new revenue streams or what have you, but it's really all about outcomes, and that's awesome because they don't care what's behind the curtain. They don't care if it's this box or that box, they care about outcomes, so that's a really big transformation for us.
Yeah, Cindy, one of the big challenges, it used to be, okay, I've got a box, I know exactly where it is, I know exactly who set it up and all the configuration. Now it's like, wait, it's a multi-hybrid cloud world, right, and I've got software spanning all of these environments, and my data's all over the place. That has had a huge ripple effect on the service and support. Walk us through a little bit about what that looks like.
Yeah, I would tell you the number one thing in our world, if you really think about it, is data sovereignty. Because where's my data? If I were a CTO or a CIO, I'd wake up in the morning and go, where's my data? Right, and we're managing that data for a lot of clients, and so it's really all about where's my data, and making sure that the sovereignty of the data, it's supposed to be in a certain place, supposed to be protected in a certain way. We work with a lot of regulated environments, so think healthcare, right? Think even automotive to some extent. All that IoT data, who's touching that data? That's personal data. So as the futurists talked about this morning, the ethical side of data for service and support is really intriguing to us, actually.
What's the conversation like, Cindy, with your enterprise legacy customers who weren't born in the cloud? How are you helping them kind of embrace the change that they have to go through?
Yeah, I think the number one thing is to not be dissuaded into thinking that it's all cloud, right? It's not, everything is not made for the cloud, especially if it wasn't born on the cloud. The pathway to the cloud could be very difficult and maybe not even prudent. So we're doing a lot of assessments for our clients to decide what workloads belong in the cloud and helping them to understand it isn't all cloud. It's some cloud and it's hybrid cloud, and so it's this wonderful Lego cube that we build for them.
NetApp has done quite a few acquisitions in the last couple of years. How does that impact what you're doing? You think about everything from the Kubernetes pieces and what's happening in AI. Talk about some of those challenges and opportunities.
Sure, I would tell you something like Green Cloud that we did last year. When we look at managing those workloads and helping to build out that Rubik's Cube, right, of piece parts and what that overall orchestration and architecture looks like in the future, something like a Green Cloud helps us to orchestrate that. It helps us to manage that, and really that management plane for our clients is really where the heartburn is. It's taking a look and seeing that entire data landscape and managing and orchestrating that and the movement of all of that data. That's the biggie.
Yeah, follow-up question, when I think about NetApp, NetApp was heavily involved in helping to really fix storage in a virtualized environment.
Sure.
Lots of us have, the wounds and memories of, over a decade of kind of fighting through that. What does NetApp see as its role in kind of the cloud native, this next wave?
Yeah, I think it's the overall integration. Our team now is really fixated on where do we go with the overall integration of legacy and then the cloud native stuff that clients are building. And granted, the cloud native stuff gives competitive differentiation, gives speed, gives scale, really great stuff, but you can't leave the other stuff behind, right? So for us, integration and how that integration is going to work through APIs or otherwise is really a huge fixation in service and support.
So NetApp has grown a lot, done a lot of transformation. Talk about some of the changes to your customer segmentation and how you're using that information and that segmentation to really deliver differentiated services, because let's face it, customers have a lot of choice.
Right, and that's a key word for us, actually. We say as a tagline that for service and support, we're looking for value-based, differentiated services that deliver outcomes. big mouthful, I know, and I have no marketing chops, as you can tell, but the truth be told, when we look at our Global 1000 customers, they want high touch and in some cases no touch. They want to get to information, solve problems really quickly without having to go L1, L2, all through the tiers, and so we're piloting programs that are proactive, predictive, and that are very high touch to ensure that they can solve their problems quite quickly, either on their own or to the right person instead of going through some of the typical pathways to support.
All right, Cindy, I love you. You're going to help us decode some of this marketing discussion. So, hashtag data-driven is something we're seeing at the show.
Right.
Yeah, help connect for us, how are customers being data-driven as they look at their future in the cloud and beyond?
Well, when I think of data-driven, I think of new services. That to me means new services and looking at the correlation, if you may say. Give you a thought here. So the gentleman that had the DNA and genome data, right, in the keynote, if we can take that data and correlate it to somebody's overall health history and see the transition, right? See as your blood pressure's going up, or see as certain changes and deltas are happening in your health profile, overall, holistically, you can, I think, see the train before it hits you, right? You can see a stroke coming, and that would be the most beautiful thing, is to see stuff before it hits you. Same with the car manufacturers. If they see a pattern of brakes that are going out, Mary Barra probably never wants to sit in front of the Senate again, right? So we can see those patterns before a massive recall has to happen. So that's data-driven to me, is either new goods and services or seeing a train before it hits you.
Cindy, I know this is a short segment, but we want to thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to give you a CUBE sticker because you are now officially an alumni.
I'll feel cubed forevermore.
Excellent, cubed forevermore, that's a new hashtag. We want to thank you for sharing your perspective from a services and support standpoint, because those are critical services that customers need. And we want to thank you for watching this segment. I'm Lisa Martin with Stu Miniman. You're watching theCUBE live from NetApp Insight 2018.